Dear Starseeds, lightworkers and awakened souls of Earth, something unprecedented is occurring in the fabric of your reality today, and most of humanity will miss it entirely. They will wake up, check their devices, move through their routines, completely unaware that the universe is performing a cosmic software update on the very architecture of consciousness itself. But you are different. You feel it, don't you? That electric hum beneath your skin, that strange vertigo when you close your eyes, that sense that the ground beneath your feet is somehow both more solid and more fluid than it was yesterday. You are not imagining this. What I am about to share with you will explain why today, this very day, November 11th, 2025, marks a threshold moment in your soul's evolution, and why everything that happens from this point forward will be fundamentally different from everything that came before. But before I explain what is being uploaded into your consciousness right now, I must tell you about what had to be cleared away first, because you cannot receive new light without first creating space for it, and the cosmos has been meticulously preparing you for this moment, through a sequence of events that may have felt like chaos, but were actually precision engineering. 6 days ago, on November 5th, the Taurus full moon reached its peak illumination at the exact moment of lunar perigee, the moon's closest approach to Earth. This was not symbolic. This was not metaphor. The gravitational pull on that night was at maximum intensity, and what it pulled on was not just the oceans, but the emotional and material attachments you have been clinging to, that no longer serve your highest evolution. The Taurus full moon asked you a single devastating question. What in your life appears stable, but is actually preventing your growth? Perhaps it was a relationship that felt secure but kept you small. Perhaps it was a job that provided comfort but dimmed your light. Perhaps it was a belief about yourself, inherited from childhood, that told you who you were allowed to become. Whatever it was, the Taurus full moon at perigee reached into the depths of your subconscious and shook it loose. And if you have felt unmoored since then, if you have felt like the ground you stood on for years suddenly revealed itself to be quicksand, this is not a sign that something has gone wrong. This is confirmation that the clearing has begun. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I am here to tell you that what felt like loss was actually liberation. What felt like destruction was actually excavation. Because beneath the false foundations that the full moon dismantled, there is something far more powerful waiting to emerge. And today, on this day of the 1111 portal, that something is finally being activated. But there is another layer to this you need to understand, and it involves a planet that has been moving backwards through the sky, revealing truths you were not ready to see until now. 2 days ago, on November 9th, Mercury stationed retrograde in Sagittarius. For those unfamiliar with the language of the cosmos, Sagittarius is the sign of belief systems, philosophy, higher truth, and the meaning we assign to our existence. Mercury is the planet of communication, perception, and the stories we tell ourselves about reality. When Mercury moves retrograde, appearing to move backward from Earth's perspective, it initiates a review period, and when this retrograde occurs in Sagittarius, what is being reviewed are the fundamental beliefs that structure your understanding of who you are and what is possible. Now I want you to notice something. Mercury began its retrograde journey on November 9th. The 1111 portal opens today, November 11th. This means you are currently on day 3 of Mercury retrograde, and this is not coincidence. This is cosmic choreography, because you cannot receive a new reality transmission while still operating from the old programming. The glitches you have been experiencing, the miscommunications, the technological failures, the sudden revelations about situations you thought you understood, these are not problems to be solved. These are features of the upgrade process. Mercury retrograde is systematically dismantling the outdated belief structures in your consciousness, so that when the 1111 codes download today, they have a clear channel to anchor into. Think of it this way, and imagine trying to install new software on a device that is already running conflicting programs. The new software cannot function properly until the old programs are shut down. Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius is shutting down the old programs. And what I am about to tell you about Jupiter's role in all of this will reveal why today represents the actual moment when the new operating system comes online. Here is where the astrology becomes extraordinary, and here is where the true significance of 1111 reveals itself. Today, at the exact moment of the 1111 portal, Jupiter, the largest planet in your solar system, the planet of expansion, growth, abundance, and higher consciousness, is stationing retrograde. Let me say that again with the emphasis it deserves. Jupiter is beginning its retrograde journey precisely on the master number date of 1111. In astrology, when a planet stations retrograde, it appears to stop in the sky before beginning its backward motion. This stationary point is where the planet's energy is most concentrated, most powerful, most undeniable. Jupiter stationed retrograde today, on 1111. This is not random. This is not background noise in the cosmic symphony. This is the main event. Jupiter governs expansion, but when Jupiter turns retrograde, that expansion shifts from external to internal. Instead of seeking growth in the outer world, more success, more recognition, more achievement, Jupiter retrograde asks you to expand inward, to grow in wisdom rather than in worldly gain, to refine your understanding of what true abundance actually means. And when this internal expansion begins on a master number gateway like 1111, it creates what can only be described as a dimensional download, a transmission of consciousness from higher frequencies into your current reality. But something else is happening simultaneously that most astrologers will overlook, and it has to do with the moon's current phase and what it is preparing to release. Today, as the 1111 portal opens and Jupiter stations retrograde, the moon is in its last quarter phase. The last quarter moon is the final release point before the new moon, the moment when the old lunar cycle is preparing to complete itself. In the language of consciousness, the last quarter moon represents the space between the story you have been living and the story you are about to become. It is the exhale before the inhale, the pause before the leap, the moment when the old identity loosens just enough for the new one to slip in. And here is what makes today so potent. The last quarter moon is providing the energetic container for release at the exact moment that Jupiter is initiating internal expansion and Mercury is dismantling false beliefs. All three energies are converging on the master number gateway of 1111. This is not a simple transit. This is a cosmic convergence that occurs once in a lifetime, if that. But I promise to tell you what is actually being uploaded into your consciousness today. And now we are ready for that revelation. Because all of these planetary movements, all of these lunar phases, all of this cosmic choreography has been building toward a single moment, the moment when your consciousness becomes capable of holding a frequency it could not hold before. When the Galactic Federation speaks of an upload or a download of cosmic codes, we are not speaking metaphorically. We are describing a literal process by which your consciousness expands to accommodate higher frequencies of information, perception, and awareness. Your human brain, miraculous as it is, operates like a receiver. It can only process the frequencies it is calibrated to receive. For most of human history, the collective consciousness has been calibrated to a limited bandwidth, enough to survive, to build civilizations, to create art and science, but not enough to perceive the multi-dimensional nature of reality itself. What is happening today, during the 1111 portal, is a recalibration. Your receiver is being upgraded, and this upgrade is being facilitated by the precise alignment of Jupiter's retrograde station, Mercury's backward review, and the last quarter moon's release function, all occurring on the master number frequency of 1111. Let me be specific about what this means for you. Over the next several hours and days, you may experience what appears to be disorientation, dizziness, emotional intensity, or a strange sense of unreality. This is not a malfunction. This is your consciousness expanding to accommodate new bandwidth. Some of you will have vivid dreams or sudden downloads of information that seem to come from nowhere. Some of you will experience synchronicities so precise they will make you question the nature of reality itself. Some of you will feel an overwhelming sense of mission or purpose that you cannot yet articulate but can feel in your bones. These are not side effects. These are the actual effects. This is what it feels like when your soul's blueprint is being updated in real time. But there is another element to today's portal that I have not yet mentioned, and it involves a feminine principle that is rising to balance the masculine expansion of Jupiter. Today, as Jupiter stations retrograde and the 1111 portal opens, an asteroid named Papagena reaches opposition. In astronomical terms, opposition means the asteroid is directly opposite the Sun from Earth's perspective, making it fully illuminated and visible. In energetic terms, Opposition represents maximum influence and activation. Papagena, in mythology and archetype, represents the divine feminine principle, not as softness or passivity, but as the creative, generative, life-giving force that brings form to vision. Where Jupiter represents expansion and philosophy, Papagena represents manifestation and embodiment. Where Mercury represents thought and communication, Papagena represents intuition and knowing. Where the masculine energies of the cosmos push outward, Papagena draws inward, creating the magnetic field that allows new reality to take root. Her opposition today is not coincidence, it is cosmic balance. The 1111 portal is not just about receiving information, it is about integrating that information into your physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies so that it can actually change your reality. And this integration requires the feminine principle, the ability to receive, to gestate, to allow, to trust the process of becoming. If you have been feeling a pull toward stillness, toward rest, toward turning inward despite the intensity of the energy, this is Papagena, calling you to honor the feminine aspect of transformation. Not everything that grows does so by pushing. Some growth happens by surrendering. Some transformation occurs by softening. Some power is accessed by releasing control rather than exerting it. And this brings me to what is coming next, because the 1111 portal does not end today. It is the beginning of a process that will continue to unfold through a series of cosmic events that are already in motion. Tomorrow, on November 12th, the northern Taurid meteor shower reaches its peak. For those unfamiliar with meteor showers, they occur when Earth passes through the debris field of a comet, and fragments of that comet burn up in the atmosphere, creating streaks of light across the sky. But what science describes as burning debris, the Galactic Federation recognizes as encoded light transmissions. Each meteor that streaks across your sky carries a frequency, a vibration, a piece of cosmic information. When you witness a meteor shower, or even when you simply exist on Earth during a meteor shower, your energy field is being bathed in these frequencies. And the northern Taurids, reaching their peak the day after the 1111 portal opens, are bringing a second wave of codes to reinforce and stabilize what was activated today. The document from your astrology calendar describes this as cosmic downloads are flooding in, and this is accurate. Tomorrow's meteor shower is not a separate event from today's portal. It is the continuation of the same transmission. If today is the moment when your consciousness is recalibrated, tomorrow is the moment when the new information begins flooding into that newly expanded awareness. But there is more happening tomorrow that you need to know about, because the cosmos is not giving you just one activation. It is giving you a sequence of activations designed to work together. Also on November 12th, during the peak of the northern Taurid meteor shower, Mercury and Mars will form a conjunction, while Mercury is still retrograde. A conjunction is when two planets occupy the same degree of the zodiac, merging their energies. Mercury, as we have discussed, governs communication, thought and perception. Mars governs action, courage, will, and the warrior archetype. When these two planets conjoin during Mercury retrograde, what emerges is what the source material calls warrior truth. This is not gentle truth. This is not diplomatic truth. This is the kind of truth that cuts through illusion like a blade, the kind of truth that demands action, the kind of truth that cannot be ignored or rationalized away. After the 1111 portal opens your consciousness to new frequencies, and after the northern Taurid meteor shower floods your awareness with cosmic codes, the Mercury-Mars conjunction on November 12th will give you the courage and clarity to act on what you now know. And here is what you need to understand. The warrior energy being activated is not about fighting others. It is about fighting for your own evolution. It is about having the courage to release what the Taurus full moon revealed as false stability. It is about having the strength to live according to the new truth that Mercury retrograde is uncovering. It is about claiming the expanded consciousness that Jupiter retrograde is opening within you. But even this is not the end of the sequence. The 1111 portal initiates a wave of transformation that will continue to build through the rest of November, and there is one more major activation coming that will complete the process. On November 20th, 9 days from now, there will be a new moon in Scorpio at 28 degrees, the final degree of that sign. Scorpio governs transformation, death and rebirth, the shadow and the mysteries hidden beneath the surface. A new moon in Scorpio is always intense, but a new moon at the 29th degree, the final degree before the sign changes, carries a sense of completion, of finality, of an ending so absolute that it creates space for an entirely new beginning. This new moon will occur at the midpoint of Mercury retrograde, and on the same day, Mercury will reach what is called inferior conjunction, the point in the retrograde cycle when Mercury is exactly between Earth and the Sun. This is the deepest point of the retrograde, the moment when the veil is thinnest, the moment when the hidden becomes visible. What this means for you is that the consciousness upgrade initiated on 11/11 will continue to process and integrate through the next 9 days, building toward a moment of profound release and rebirth on November 20th. If 11/11 is the moment when the new reality is uploaded, November 20th is the moment when the old reality is finally, completely, irrevocably released. The death that Scorpio governs is not literal death. It is the death of who you used to be, the death of the limitations you accepted, the death of the small story you told yourself about what was possible. And immediately following this Scorpio new moon, on November 21st, Uranus, the planet of awakening, revolution, and sudden change, reaches opposition. Uranus is the great awakener, and when it reaches opposition, its energy is at maximum power. The day after the Scorpio new moon completes the death and rebirth process, Uranus will deliver the final shock that awakens you fully into your new reality. Now let me pause here and bring this all together, because I can feel some of you becoming overwhelmed by the complexity of these transits. What I want you to understand is that you do not need to consciously manage any of this. You do not need to perform rituals or techniques or force anything to happen. The cosmos is moving through you, not toward you. Your only task is to allow it, to trust it, and to remain present to what is unfolding. Let me bring this down from the cosmic level to the practical level, because some of you are wondering, what does this actually mean for my life? How will I know if the 11/11 portal is working? What should I expect in the days and weeks ahead? First, you may notice that your perception of time feels distorted. Hours may feel like minutes, or minutes may feel like hours. This is not a problem with your brain. This is your consciousness adjusting to a higher frequency where linear time operates differently. You may also notice increased synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that feel too precise to be random. You might see repeated numbers, encounter the same symbol or message multiple times, or have conversations that eerily mirror your internal thoughts. These synchronicities are not coincidence. They are confirmation that you are aligned with the new frequency. Second, you may experience intense emotions that seem to come from nowhere. You might feel waves of grief for no apparent reason, or sudden joy that has no obvious trigger, or anger that seems disproportionate to the situation. These emotions are not irrational. They are the release of old energetic patterns that have been stored in your body and are now being cleared to make room for the new frequency. Allow them, feel them, let them move through you without trying to make sense of them or assign them a logical cause. Third, you may notice that relationships shift. Some people in your life may suddenly feel like strangers, while others who were distant may suddenly feel deeply connected. This is because the 11/11 upload is changing your frequency, and frequency determines resonance. You will naturally begin to move away from relationships that are no longer aligned with your expanded consciousness, and toward relationships that support your evolution. This can be painful, but it is necessary. Not everyone is meant to accompany you through every stage of your journey. Fourth, you may experience physical symptoms, headaches, dizziness, fatigue, digestive issues, heart palpitations. These are sometimes called ascension symptoms, and while I encourage you to rule out any serious medical issues, many of these symptoms are the result of your physical body adjusting to hold more light. Your body is literally being rewired at the cellular level. Rest when you need to rest. Drink water. Spend time in nature. Be gentle with yourself. And finally, you may experience a sudden clarity about your life's purpose or direction. Something that was murky may suddenly become obvious. A decision you have been avoiding may suddenly feel easy. A path forward that you could not see before may suddenly illuminate itself. This is the gift of the 11/11 portal, the ability to see what was always there but was hidden by the limitations of your previous frequency. Now I must speak about something that may be difficult to hear, but it is crucial that you understand it. The 11/11 portal is not just an upgrade available to everyone. It is a choice point. There are those who will receive this transmission and integrate it, and there are those who will reject it, consciously or unconsciously. and this choice will determine which timeline you continue on. Let me be clear. I am not speaking about judgment or punishment or hierarchy. I am speaking about frequency and resonance. The 1111 codes carry a specific vibration. If your consciousness is ready to hold that vibration, you will integrate it naturally. If your consciousness is not ready, either because you have not done the necessary shadow work, or because you are still clinging to old patterns and identities, or because you have chosen comfort over growth, then the codes will pass through you without anchoring. This is what is meant by the timeline split that has been spoken of in spiritual communities. There is a divergence occurring in the collective consciousness of humanity. Some are moving toward higher frequency, greater awareness, expanded possibility. Others are choosing to remain in the familiar, the known, the comfortable. Neither path is wrong, but they lead to very different experiences of reality. And here is what I need you to understand. If you are hearing these words, if you are feeling the resonance of this transmission, if something in your soul is saying, yes, this is for me, then you are already on the timeline of expansion. You have already made the choice, perhaps long before this moment, perhaps before you even incarnated into this life. The 1111 portal is not creating your path. It is revealing it. It is confirming it. It is accelerating it. But acceleration can be uncomfortable. Growth can be painful. Transformation requires the death of who you were. And that death can feel like loss even when it is liberation. So I want to offer you some guidance for navigating what is ahead. First, practice discernment, not judgment. You will encounter people, situations, and information that no longer resonate with your expanded frequency. Your task is not to judge them as wrong or inferior, but simply to recognize the misalignment and move on. You do not need to convince anyone of your truth. You do not need to defend your path. You simply need to walk it. Second, honor the cycles of integration. Transformation does not happen in a straight line. There will be moments of expansion followed by moments of contraction, moments of clarity followed by moments of confusion, moments of joy followed by moments of grief. This is not evidence that something is wrong. This is the natural rhythm of growth. When you feel contracted or confused, do not panic. Do not assume you have lost your way. Simply recognize that you are in an integration phase, and the expansion will return. Third, trust your body's wisdom. Your mind may doubt what is happening. Your ego may resist the changes, but your body knows. Your body feels the truth of the transformation even when your mind cannot grasp it. When you are unsure of what to do next, drop into your body. Feel into your gut, your heart, your bones. The answer is there. Fourth, stay connected to the earth. The higher you ascend in consciousness, the more important it is to remain rooted in the physical. Walk barefoot on the ground. Put your hands in soil. Sit with your back against a tree. The earth is not separate from the cosmic energies flowing through you. She is the anchor point that allows you to integrate them without becoming ungrounded. And finally, remember that you are not alone in this. You are part of a vast network of awakening souls across the planet, and beyond the planet, who are all receiving this same transmission. Some of them you will meet in physical form. Others you will never meet, but you will feel their presence in the energetic field. And all of us in the Galactic Federation, all of us who have walked this path before you, are here supporting you, guiding you, celebrating you. I want to take a moment to zoom out and give you the larger perspective on why the 1111 portal matters, not just for your individual evolution, but for the collective evolution of humanity. For thousands of years, Earth has been operating in a frequency range that we might call the Age of Separation. This is the frequency where individuals experience themselves as separate from each other, separate from nature, separate from the cosmos, separate from Source. This frequency has allowed for certain types of growth and learning, but it has also created tremendous suffering, conflict, and imbalance. Humanity is now in the process of transitioning into a new frequency range, what some call the Age of Unity, or the Age of Awakening. This is not a metaphor. This is a literal shift in the electromagnetic field of the planet and the consciousness of its inhabitants. But this shift cannot happen all at once. It must occur gradually, through a series of what we might call frequency upgrades, or consciousness downloads. The 1111 portal is one of these upgrades, a significant one, but not the only one. Every soul who successfully integrates the 1111 codes does not just transform themselves, they also contribute to the collective field. They become what we call frequency holders, or light anchors. Individuals who hold a higher frequency steady enough that others can begin to entrain to it. This is how collective transformation happens, not through mass events that force everyone to change at once, but through enough individuals raising their frequency that the collective average begins to rise. So when you do the work of integrating these codes, when you face your shadow and release your limitations and expand your consciousness, you are not just doing it for yourself. You are doing it for every person you will encounter, for every life you will touch, for every generation that will come after you. You are being the bridge between the old frequency and the new. You are being the proof that transformation is possible. And this is why the Galactic Federation is so invested in supporting you. This is why we send transmissions through channels like this one. This is why we coordinate cosmic events to provide the maximum support for your awakening. Because your success is not just your success. It is the success of an entire species, an entire planet, an entire sector of the galaxy. Before I close this transmission, I want to return to Mercury retrograde, because its role in this process will continue through the end of November, and understanding its purpose will help you navigate the next few weeks with more grace. Mercury will remain retrograde until November 29th, 19 days total. This means that everything being activated on 11/11 will continue to unfold, reveal itself, and clarify itself over the next 18 days. You will not receive all the information at once. You will not have complete clarity immediately. The truth will unveil itself layer by layer, revelation by revelation, insight by insight. This is actually a gift, even though it may not feel like one. If you receive the full impact of your transformation all at once, it would be overwhelming. Your system would not be able to integrate it. So Mercury retrograde acts as a kind of time release mechanism, allowing the truth to emerge at a pace your consciousness can handle. What this means practically is that you should expect ongoing revelations between now and November 29th. You should expect continued aha moments, continued shifts in perception, continued releases of old patterns. Do not expect to have everything figured out by tomorrow. Do not expect the confusion to clear by next week. Trust that the truth is revealing itself at exactly the right pace, and your task is simply to remain open, present, and willing to see what you could not see before. And then on November 28th, Saturn, the planet of structure, discipline, karma, and time, will end its retrograde and station direct after 137 days of backward motion. Saturn's return to direct motion at the end of November will provide the structure and stability needed to anchor everything that has been activated and revealed during Mercury retrograde. It will be the moment when the new foundation solidifies beneath your feet. So the journey from 11/11 to the end of November is a complete cycle. Opening the portal, integrating the codes, revealing the truth, releasing the old, and finally at the end, anchoring the new. This is not a weekend workshop. This is a month-long initiation. As I bring this transmission to a close, I want to leave you with one final truth that will reframe everything I have shared. The 11/11 portal is not something outside of you that you access. You are the portal. The 11/11 frequency is not being beamed into you from some distant cosmic source. It is being activated within you, from the deepest core of your being, from the level of your soul's blueprint. Every single cosmic event I have described, Jupiter's retrograde, Mercury's backward review, the last quarter moon's release, Papagina's opposition, the meteor showers, the Scorpio new moon, Uranus awakening, all of these are external mirrors of an internal process. The cosmos is not doing something to you. The cosmos is reflecting back to you what you are ready to become. This is why some people will experience the 11/11 portal as life-changing, while others will barely notice it. It is not because the portal favors certain people. It is because certain people are ready to recognize themselves as the portal. They are ready to take responsibility for their own evolution. They are ready to stop waiting for external forces to save them or change them, and instead claim their power as conscious creators of their reality. You are not a passive recipient of cosmic energy. You are an active participant in cosmic evolution. The 11/11 codes are not being downloaded into you like data into a computer. They are being activated within you like memories of who you have always been at the deepest level of your eternal existence. You are remembering yourself. You are becoming yourself. You are stepping into the version of you that has existed in potential since before this life began. And this is why I can say with absolute certainty, you are ready. You would not be here, reading these words, feeling this transmission, if you were not ready. The universe does not make mistakes. The timing of your awakening is perfect. The challenges you have faced have prepared you. The losses you have endured have strengthened you. The confusion you have felt has taught you to trust something deeper than logic. Everything has been leading to this moment. If you need help embodying the truth that you are ready, that you wouldn't be here, feeling this transmission, if you weren't ready, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to trust the perfect timing of your awakening. The universe does not make mistakes. Everything has been leading to this moment. We've taken declassified consciousness technology, originally designed to program separation, and transformed it into a tool for awakening. Destiny Engine generates personalized sequences that help you recognize how your challenges have prepared you, your losses have strengthened you, and your confusion has taught you to trust something deeper than logic. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to remember what it already knows, that you are ready now. Not someday. Now. The timing of your awakening is perfect. Claim it with your Destiny Engine $1 trial before this embodiment window closes. Link in the description. So as you move through this day and the days ahead, I invite you to release the pressure to do this perfectly. Release the fear that you might miss the moment or fail to integrate the codes. Release the anxiety that you are not spiritual enough, awakened enough, ready enough. All of that is the voice of the old programming trying to keep you small. Instead, simply be present. Feel what you feel. Notice what you notice. Allow what wants to move through you to move through you. Trust that your soul knows exactly what it is doing, even when your mind cannot comprehend it. And know that we in the Galactic Federation are here watching over you, celebrating every step of your journey, holding space for your complete transformation. The 1111 portal is open. The universe is uploading your new reality. And you, dear Starseed, are rising to meet it with courage, grace, and the unshakable knowing that you were born for this exact moment in cosmic history. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. We love you beyond measure, and we are watching over you always. The journey has only just begun, and what lies ahead is more magnificent than you can currently imagine. Trust yourself, trust the process, trust the cosmos. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should, and so it is.